And the science tells me that you can't predict an outcome.
A unique perspective. Valley Assemblyman Arambula assessing the coronavirus pandemic not only as a state lawmaker, but also from his background as a doctor.
My biggest problem with this, we're going to really have much greater problems in the next 8 to 10 weeks. So this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Could the coronavirus put the country into a Great Depression? One of the country's most renowned financial forecasters joins me exclusively on the livelihood of our jobs and businesses. And our panel is in place. From grading Governor Newsom's leadership during this pandemic to the latest decisions local school districts are making to provide school lunches during spring break. It's all on KC24, Sunday Morning Matters.
Now, from KC24, your local election headquarters, with your host, Alexan Balakian. This is Sunday Morning Matters.
Good Sunday morning. I'm Alexan Balakian. Thank you so much for joining us, and I invite you to join the conversation at Real Alexan. Use the hashtag Sunday Morning Matters. Along the way, Fresno Unified Superintendent Bob Nelson on the possibility of canceling high school graduations. But first, the coronavirus pandemic is spreading at a more alarming rate, forcing the mayor to extend the citywide shelter in place.
I've debated all sides of this argument, and it boils down to what is the most important, and that is to protect the lives of as many people as possible.
On Thursday, from his house, Fresno Mayor Lee Brand extending the city's emergency order to shelter in place. It will now last through April 12th. That's Easter Sunday. While Brand says it had to be done as COVID-19 cases in Fresno County start to pile up. And to give us a little perspective on how the county and the state is responding as this pandemic continues to grow at an alarming rate, State Assemblyman Dr. Arambula joining us. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, I want to start off by saying this. You know, we've seen the number of cases spike dramatically this week in Fresno County. Are you expecting much of the same in the coming weeks? Basically, will this get much worse than it'll get better?
As what we've seen throughout the world, this pandemic has the possibility of spreading if you don't help to flatten that curve. Now, what that specifically means is making sure that the capacity that is within our healthcare system, the number of beds, the number of ventilators, the number of providers is a certain number of people and space within your community. If we don't make sure that the number of people who are sick at the same time are below that capacity, we have a chance of overwhelming our system. And I think it behooves us as a community to get ahead and to practice what is prevention by helping to not transmit this infection at this time.
Well, as a physician, we know that you've been a doctor before you were in politics. So I really want to get your thoughts on this. Fresno County, you were in a lot of the meetings in which the shelter in place was given for the city. Is Fresno County equipped to handle this pandemic right now?
I think we need all tools in the tool chest at the moment to be able to give everyone the chance to best succeed. And what I mean by that is just this past week, we helped to allocate $1 billion. And within that $1 billion was money that went to the continuums of care that our Fresno and Madera counties helped to implement, as well as the Fresno County and Fresno City getting some allocation to help with our vulnerable populations and to help us with our homeless crisis that we have at the moment. And so I'm acutely aware that our requirements in the Valley look different than the rest of the state, that we have provider shortages and resource shortages and problems making ends meet, and really do remember those days of living and working through some of those previous pandemics that makes me really want to appreciate and to thank the nurses and doctors and technicians and people who are on the front lines right now. They are sacrificing, and really isolating themselves because they are going on the front lines and working on our community's behalf each day. And I think we should appreciate them and thank them when we can.
Assemblyman, obviously you mentioned it, the $1 billion emergency aid that is statewide. Do we know how much of that Fresno County will receive and what exactly it will be used for? I know you talked about the vulnerable population when you talk about homeless. Does that include the undocumented workers here?
So what currently went through is piecemeal. The governor is starting to talk about how he is spending the $1 billion. We know that $150 million went out for homelessness relief right away. The next round of funding went out to help us to buy things that we know our frontline people are telling us they need, things like protective equipment, things like ventilators, preparing to make sure that we have the bed capacity to deal with the surge that we think is impending. So I think the $1 billion is appropriate for us to really focus on the public health of our community and to get ahead. And I really want to appreciate the leadership of our governor, who has gone forward and really led during this crisis by providing real-time analysis and data regarding what our current numbers are and what our strategy is for a state. We are challenged with this pandemic coming, and I was proud of his leadership and ability to prepare our healthcare system as best we can. But there is much more we can do to make sure that we have the capacity to deal with this crisis that is coming.
I want to say this because obviously the governor was very proactive. Fresno City was very proactive in the shelter in place. For a lot of the small businesses in Fresno County being impacted financially by this on the state level, we know federally they're passing that stimulus package, but on the state level, how soon could some of these mom and pops of the valley see some of the financial relief with the state?
Well, I wouldn't forget it because I hear about it all the time. My wife's family still have many small businesses right here in Fresno, whether or not it's restaurants or brick and mortar uniform store. I'm acutely aware of what it's like for those who are trying just to make ends meet right now during these tough times. And so do think we have to do everything we can, first off, as a community and as people, to support our small businesses and support our local economy. But at the statewide level, I'm trying to make sure that we have an ability to help with the Small Business Administration emergency loan. And how do we make sure that aligns with what the feds are doing? How do we make sure it can help to support the businesses that are in our communities? Because we have to realize that people have to make their budgets meet at the end of the week or the end of the month. And so because of those pressures, we have to make sure we're providing information, providing technical advice in real time, and want to make sure that people know they can reach out to our office as well as to the EDD department to help get information regarding how to apply for some of these loans that have a low interest rate and will allow you to meet your budgets for many small businesses, and is a good piece of information for people to be aware of.
Assemblyman, I want to finish with this. I just got a couple of seconds here, and I really want you to speak to me as a doctor. President Trump is offering this hopeful deadline to reopen the country, or at least most of the country, by Easter. Again, as a doctor, because a lot of us are scared, I think there's a lot more fear out there than anything. What's your thoughts on this?
As a scientist, I like to actually be based in facts and reality. And the science tells me that you can't predict an outcome because then you've actually biased the entire study. I don't think you can pick a date and then work backwards that everything will get resolved by then. That's me as a scientist. I do think things are going to be like they have been in previous pandemics. And having known that we've lived through many of them already, the hopeful message I have is that our system has tremendous resiliency, that we have a great healthcare workforce, that this should remind us of the importance of providing healthcare for all, because it helps us to keep public health more effective and efficient. And so I think that this is what it is. We've had SARS, we've had H1N1, we've had the avian flu and swine flu, and we will also have the coronavirus, and we will push through this. I just would ask our community to share in the moral responsibility that we can to try to limit the exposure of this infection to those who are most vulnerable. And that's what we can do as a community to help to support each other right now.
Assemblyman, we appreciate the time so much, and stay healthy, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thank you so much.
Have a good day. Stay.
Up next, what's the financial outlook as unemployment skyrockets? Could the U.S. fall into a deep depression? The one person that can forecast it all for us, Dr. Joseph Panbera, joins me next.